We got this. We got this. This is about to be fire. It's about to be fire. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nicola. If you are new, hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. And if you're old, you already know what it is. Thank you so much for stopping by. So today's video is another tag video, and I'm so excited to get this one done for you guys because I was just reading some of the questions to kind of prepare some material for the video, and some of these questions are jokes. So if you're interested to see my throwback tag, stay tuned. Feel me? Yeah. That was like my 90s thug impression. Question number 1. What year were you born in? 1994, fool. Number 2. Do you have any pictures of yourself from when you were younger? And if so, show them. Lord. So this first picture, I think it's from like sophomore year or junior year of high school, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those 2 years. I'm gonna have the correct year up on the screen, but my hair was permed. I had just like cut my dreads not too long ago, and I used to take like a curling iron and curl it in like rows and stuff, and then finger it out to make it look like my hair was naturally curly like that. I had no edges. Look at this. I had no edges. To all of my friends from high school for letting me walk around like this, y'all are fake. Just want to say that, you know, out loud. So this next picture, I can't remember when it was either, but I remember it was on a trip I went to the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens with my best friend Catherine. Look at my makeup, y'all. Let me just zoom in and show. Look at that eyeliner. That and I don't know who told me my brows, Lord. I had just gotten braces not too long before, and I was wearing my retainers. Oh my god, and that blush is so harsh. Next one. This is sophomore year of high school, if I'm not mistaken, and I went on like a gospel chorus trip to Dorney Park to sing, and oh god, I really had to glow up, y'all. Question number 3. What TV shows did you grow up watching? All That, Samurai Jack, Cat Dog, The Powerpuff Girls, As Told by Ginger, Zoe 101 was my shiznai. Loved that show. Between the Lions, that was one of my favorite educational shows. I don't know if you guys remember that. Zaboomafoo, Zoom, which was like another like education show. Cyber Chase, I used to love watching Cyber Chase. What did you want to be when you grow up, and do you still want to be that? So when I was younger, I wanted to be a pediatrician. It's slow. I don't know what possessed me to even want to be that. I don't like blood. I don't like needles. I don't even like children. Worse yet. So no, now I want to be a journalist. Number 5, share a video of yourself from when you were younger. So I'm not gonna go too young for you guys. I'm gonna go like high school, middle school, because you know, I was super young in my mind, okay? So this video is from one of my classes. I had a film class instead of like, as an elective instead of like English, and the final project was to do either like a music video or to shoot a short film and produce one and write one. He knew they were gonna be garbage, but it was just for, you know, something fun to assign us for like a final project. And this was my video. I did a music video to California King Bed with my friend Michael. Oh my god. Oh my god. My best friend Catherine directed this too. Oh my god. This was in Catherine's house, by the way. Okay, that's enough of that. This is painful to watch. Number 6, what were some of your favorite toys to play with? I didn't really play with toys that much when I was younger, but I do remember having a very, very heavy fascination with Build-A-Bears. Like, I really liked Build-A-Bears. I had about 8 of them over time. Over the course of like a 2-year span, I had collected 8 of them. I had conned 8 different family members to buy me a Build-A-Bear. And clothes for each bear within a span of 2 years. I was amazing. Number 7, what was the most embarrassing thing you can remember doing? So no one knows this, but in middle school, I had went on a class trip, and then on my way back, I had held my pee. I have this very habit of not peeing when I leave a place. Like if I need to pee, but it's not that urgent or like that heavy of a need, I would just hold it. It is such a bad habit. So basically I went on this trip, and instead of peeing before we left the venue, I was like, oh no, I got this, I can hold it. Midway through the train ride back, my bladder said, Excuse me, we're going to explode down here in about 0.5, so we're just giving you a little bit of a heads up. I had to hold my pee like no other, and then I made it all the way back to the school. I didn't even go straight home after the trip. I made it all the way back to the school because my house was too far, and I knew I couldn't make it all the way home. And then I got all the way to a bathroom just to pee myself as soon as I got to the toilet. It's like my body knew I was near a toilet and it just let it out, and it was I ended up tying like a sweater around my waist and going home and not speaking to anyone. I didn't catch the bus. I walked all the way home. That was probably the most embarrassing thing ever. But let's not, you know, bring this up ever again. Number 8, read something you wrote when you were in kindergarten. I don't have anything from when I was in kindergarten, so we're just gonna skip that. Number 9, 3 songs you listened to as a child. So I'm gonna count child, like I said, as like middle school, early high school. So I really liked anything from Camp Rock, that entire soundtrack. So we can count that as just one song in itself. I listened to that soundtrack like no other. There was no chill, none. I'm gonna put a link to some of my favorite songs down below. You know, vibe out with me. Let me know if you liked Camp Rock. Besides Camp Rock, the other song I listened to was Jason Derulo's In My Head. When that song came out, and What You Say by Jason Derulo. So both songs, I'd listen to them incessantly, like it was disgusting. The third song I listened to a lot when I was younger was Behind My Mom's Back, and I used to listen to Candy Shop by 50 Cent. And the lyrics were a little raunchy for someone who was really young, but you know, I thought I was grown, so I used to sing it. But when I would sing it, I'd make sure my mom wasn't around so she didn't hear me and smack me in the back of my head. Number 10, what was one funny thing you dressed up as for Halloween when you were younger? So when I was really young, I didn't celebrate Halloween because I was Rastafarian, and Rasta people do not celebrate Halloween. It wasn't until I got a little older, so I want to say like probably like middle school, when I stopped being Rasta fully, or the religion was no longer practiced in my home. The first thing I dressed up as was Jasmine. She was probably when you record in a dorm and your room is near the bathroom. She was one of my favorite Disney princesses for a really long time, because for a long time she was one of the only brown Disney princesses before we got Tiana added to the list. So I dressed up as her the minute I got the chance, and it was so much fun. 11, tell a funny story of something you remember happening when you were younger. So a funny story really quick is that I remember betting my science teacher, Mr. Silent, on an assignment about homeostasis, and I won the bet, and the terms of the bet was that he had to buy us Chinese food, my best friend Catherine and Renatia and Madeline and I. It was the 4 of us in like middle school, always together and stuff like that, so we conned him as a group. And since we got the assignment done in, I think it was like 2 days, I think we had like a week, but we got it done in like 2 days, and we brought it to class, and we made him sign a fake contract that we wrote out, and we had him sign the bottom, and he bought us Chinese food. It was glorious. Number 12, are there any special things that you kept from when you were a child? So there's one thing I can think of. Yeah. Okay, y'all. You're about to meet my child. I'm very excited. So remember how I said I used to be Rasta when I was younger? So this is my drum. It's about, I don't know if you guys can get a gist of how big it is on camera. Focus. Look at my baby. So this is real lion skin on the top here, and my uncle carved the wood. He basically made it from scratch with the rope going all around it and the ribbon of the red, yellow, and green. So I got this from when I was, I got this from my uncle when I was 3, and I've had it ever since. It always has to be with me. I think it's like an OCD thing. Wherever I live, this definitely has to be in my space. I love this drum. Number 13, what are some weird things you used to do from when you were a child? If I had to really think about it, there's one thing that stands out, and for anyone who knows me from pre-braces, I used to suck my thumb. And not only did I used to suck my thumb, I would suck my thumb, and whoever was nearest to me, I'd play with their earlobe at the same time. It was oddly comforting and I used to really annoy my best friends with it, and even some of my close like guy friends with it, but oddly enough they all encouraged it. Anyways, I got braces and I got a thumb stopper put in my mouth, and that habit broke very quickly. So I no longer do such a thing. Number 14. What's the scariest thing you remember that happened to you when you were younger? The scariest thing I could probably think of was one Halloween when we were first making the transition from not being Rasta anymore to what we are now. My Aunt Robin and my mom took the kids and I to like this Bloody Manor kind of like Halloween trail thing out in Long Island. It was the scariest thing I have ever been to. I think that's what started my phobia with clowns. I don't like clowns except the Joker. He's my favorite villain. Anyways, I don't like clowns. A clown attacked me. I think he attacked me. My mom thinks I'm being dramatic. He attacked me and jumped out the bushes. Mind you, I'm only like 12. You don't need to be running up on a 12-year-old. Like, it's dark, mother lover. I already can't see you. You don't have to run up on me as if you're Usain Bolt. Like, horrifying, man. And he was laughing, and I fell in like a pile of mud and leaves because it was all like soggy outside. It was horrible. Question number 15. How is the world now different from how it was like when you were a child? I don't even know if that was proper English, but we all get the gist of the question. So when I was a child, things were a lot simpler in the world. So it's very different, you know, politically it's very different, you know, demographically it's very different. And also just the way people speak to each other is very different from when I was a child. You know, things were just a simpler time back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Now things are super complicated. You know, people get easily offended, which was not a thing when I was younger. And, you know, it's just a different place. We gotta just stay positive and, you know, keep moving forward. Alright guys, and that's the end of the tag. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the throwbacks that I had to share with you guys. And make sure to like and subscribe. I think it's over here. And, you know, share with your peeps. Alright guys, I'm talking too much. Until next time, peace. Bye.